You feel this nervousness on the phone there?
Sir, I've been trying to make an urgent phone call up there.
I don't think it's something I want to do on an overseas phone.
You gotta make some phone calls. Hang up the phone. Prank caller. Prank caller.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to Packernet After Dark. This is the call-in show, the Packernet Podcast Network. If you'd like to call in, if you'd like to participate in the show, please feel free to do so. The phone number here is 608-501-0718. New callers go directly to the front of the line. We have a lot of callers, which I think is freaking awesome. You guys are awesome. But none of them are new, which is a shame, but that's okay. We've got Uncle Rico to get us kicking this thing off.
Yo, Ryan, it's your Uncle Rico.
Hello, Uncle Rico.
You know, we can't look to the college ranks for a special teams coach because the special teams in college is, considerably different.
That's what I keep hearing.
Than in the NFL. And that's why if you started out when you were 16 years old, got your driver's license and got yourself, car, that's why you'll never be able to be a truck driver. Rico out.
Yeah, you can't do it, man. I mean, once you do something, you're locked in, which is why, you can't use college football. That's why we can't draft anybody to help us with special teams either, because everything's so different. You just can't. There's different rules, and you can't learn new things, and it's just not possible. So, Wet Jen, or I just found out, by the way, his name. You can usually tell the names that you need to look up the pronunciation, and I never remember anyways, like Uavani or whatever the guy's name is. I get that wrong. I will get that wrong forever. He'll be a pro, and I'll be saying it wrong. I just saw somebody did a pronunciation guide. It had like 2 names on it, 3 names. And one of them was Wetjen. Turns out the guy's name is like Weegen or something. It's like, bro, it's Wetjen. It's as straightforward as it gets. How do you mess that up? I don't understand.
Good morning. This is Jared, the Uber driver from Texas.
Yo.
So, 2 random off-season topics. Just saw the movie Iron Lung. I liked it. I'm a fan of Markiplier, the guy who created his YouTuber, and he was able to make a movie. It was pretty good. Hold on one second. My kid just spit up food.
It sucks. Do I guess we'll skip ahead to his other calls. There's a bunch of calls in between, but that's all right.
Howdy, this is Jared, the Uber driver from Texas.
Hey.
Back again. The situation dealt with. Everything cleaned up, so yay.
Good.
But yeah, I was talking about Iron Lung. It's a slow burn movie, but it's pretty cool. It's a different atmospheric type movie. It's all shot in a submarine, like literally the whole movie is all shot in it, but it gives you like the feel of dread and claustrophobia. So
great.
If you're into that, I recommend it.
Dread and claustrophobia,
or guys with deep voices.
Well,
if you're into that. Anyways. And then song idea for you, food-wise. So maybe after Packernet After Dark or something. It could be, since you guys love pork butt, you can make a song called I like pork butt and I cannot lie. Or I love pork butt and I cannot lie. However you want to go with that.
I get it.
It just writes itself,
Sure.
I think that's one of the one-to-one transitions for you. So, there you go. Song idea. Anyways, go Pack Go.
That's 100,000% fair, I will say. All right, we'll do your next one too, and then we'll go back to that nerd.
Howdy, this is Jared J, the Uber driver from Texas again. One thing I forgot to mention about Iron Lung is that there is lots and lots of blood. spoiler alert, he's in a blood ocean. Which they did it pretty well.
That's not a thing.
I mean, in a way, it's gross, but at the same time, my wife took me to go see it because it was my birthday yesterday, and she found it pretty good. Like, it was still a pretty solid movie, even though it was it was 2 hours, but it felt a little long only because of the one set piece, but it was still good. Sorry, I had to mention that. But yeah, that's all I got to say, I guess, about that. Go back, go.
Well, I'll maybe check out the Blood Ocean thing. We'll see how it goes.
What's up, Ryan? This is Dakota, that nerd in Tennessee.
What's up, dude?
I am calling. So, first of all, I used to, even in the recent past, but I don't really pay attention to college football, and definitely I am completely unknowledgeable about any players coming into the draft. And usually what I would do is, when I paid a lot more attention to it, I would know a few players coming in, and then I would just delve into researching all of the players coming out, and I would use, mock draft machines, and I'd buy people's, draft guides, and as I've moved up in my career, I usually have to use all of my research to stay at the forefront of environmental education, and I don't have the capacity to put my brain into both fields. So I rely on great people such as yourself and Clayton, his gang, and all the people that call in and give names. And I might spend about 20 minutes a day researching. I'm about done. But no, so appreciate all that. But was saying that I know we're looking at a bunch of Malik style, I guess, quarterbacks in the draft to draft as our backup quarterback, because we're trying to create the beautiful success that was Malik Willis as our backup quarterback. And to be honest, I hope he moves on so I can just say that he was just a quarterback that was our backup, and he is way higher than backup quality. But anyway, I do have a philosophy, and that is that we don't or should not draft our next backup quarterback. If you look at all the backup quarterbacks that we've got in the past, the ones that we've drafted, I mean, there was a couple of success stories, but almost like relatively none compared to the number that we have drafted. And then all of a sudden we pick up Malik Willis. And I know in the past we've tried Deshaun Kaiser, and there was probably one more that I'm forgetting that another team has drafted and we brought in. But I really think the play is that we pick somebody that has NFL experience and been in the NFL, because I feel they would be easier to coach on the NFL level to begin with. And of course, sure, people within the draft, they have had less coaching and therefore may have not gone as long practicing bad habits.
Part 2 for Dakota.
Yeah, leave it to me to, anyway, so we were at bad habits. So once you're at the the college level, especially at quarterback, if you're being drafted at all, you've been playing for a long time and you've been coached for a long time. So I think coachability, I mean, it's, I don't think it goes down once you enter the NFL and you've been in the NFL for a couple years. So anyway, I would prefer that we draft, that we do not draft our backup quarterback, that we try to pick somebody up that would be inexpensive. I know it would be more expensive than drafting somebody in like the 4th or 5th round. But the question is, do we want to not pay for somebody and then not be good? Because no rookie quarterback is good ever relative to how good they can be. They're almost never that good. So do we want to not pay for somebody that's not good, or do we want to pay for somebody that can win us games if Love has to go out for a minute? So I guess I'll throw that to you. What is your philosophy on that? Or do you even care? Because the point is, if Love goes out, we shouldn't rely on our backup anyway to win us the Super Bowl. So, what's your thoughts on that, man? All right. Peace.
Well, you're probably right. If I have to pick one or the other, I won't. I'm going to cheat. But, I think if anything, we learned the value of having a guy we can rely on. And if you draft somebody, you can say whatever you want, but you're never really drafting a guy because we want him to be the guy for us to rely on. You're drafting him to develop him. That's the whole draft and develop thing, right? You don't know how good he's going to be. He's going to need time to learn the system, blah, 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 blah. You would like to have a guy that can, not that but you have a belief that more so than a college prospect, you think they can maybe come in and kind of do the job. So I think that is a good point. I still want to draft and develop somebody. And look, I don't think that there's anything. I think honestly, the play, now that you mention it, and I'll just give my, doesn't have to be my thing, but I've been banging this drum forever, and there might be better options, but it's the funniest option, and he's like Malik, and it gets me excited for that reason. Just this sort of fantasy that, our guy is just a elite quarterback coach and he can make a whatever. Go get Justin Fields and draft a guy. We'll go into the season. We'll have however many quarterbacks to start with, but we'll whittle it down to 3. It'll be Jordan and Fields, and then the guy that we draft will be on the practice squad. And that'll be that. And we'll go forward with that. So that's my plan.
Hey, Ryan, it's Dakota, that nerd in Tennessee again, calling in something completely different.
Okay.
I guess I should have waited and called a little later and let somebody else go between me.
Oh,
but
you're good, man.
This is a different topic, so I'll ask you this. So the whole thing with the team not firing Rich Bisaccia and him retiring and then it taking so long, and now we're letting all the quote-unquote good special teams coordinators be picked up. Dude, I don't know if there is a good special teams coordinator. I mean, there's people that are more successful over a long term, and I would consider those good. But there's no brilliant special teams minds that would be available, right? Like LaFleur, or I hate to say it, but Ben frickin' Johnson, his little punk self. Great offensive mind. I don't know if that exists within special teams coaches. And I want to put you on speaker. I really hope you can hear me. I'm sure the quality went down. But we have Kyle Wilbur and Tom McMahon, and then there's another guy, Anchor or something, that have been candidates. But I specifically want to talk about Kyle Wilbur and Tom McMahon. You might have already gone over these folks in your other podcast. But Kyle Wilbur is, I believe, already on the Packers staff. And he's some quality control or something coach. And he's an up-and-comer. I guess he was a linebacker semi-recently, actually. And he's a candidate for special teams coordinator. Tom McMahon is a veteran special teams coordinator. But I want to read this off, all right? So Rich Bisaccia, from 2021 to 2025, all right? 2021, he was Las Vegas. 2022, he was Green Bay Packers. So 21, he was the 21st, or led the 21st special teams. 2022, 17th. 23, he was the 31st special teams. 24, the 15th. 25, the 21st. So that averages are, 21, right? Todd McMahon, in 2021, he was the 30th for the Broncos. 2022, he was the 12th. 2023, he was the 13th. 2024, he was the 17th, and 2025, he was the 28th, which averaged 20. If you see the variation, I mean, he went from 30th to 12th, to 13th to 17th to 28th. We went from 21st to 17th to 31st to 15th to 21st, and we averaged almost exactly the same. I think all special teams coordinators are going to be like that. There's not going to be somebody that ranks third, 12th, third, right? It's going to be fluctuating like that. So do we want somebody that's been around as a veteran, or do we want?
I'm gonna be honest, man. I didn't hear a lot of fluctuating. I mean, there was some, but it's like bad, worse, worse, bad, bad, worse. I mean, if we can sit around in the 20s to 30s every single time, I'm guessing somebody out there is in the 5 to 10s. I get your point. Nobody's just going to be the best every single time. But I don't think we have to be consistently 20th or below every single time either. If we can fluctuate from, one time we're top 5, next time we're top 10, maybe we drop out to the top 16, and then we're back into the top 10. Like that kind of fluctuation is the kind of fluctuation where you get to keep your job, in my opinion. If we're fluctuating from 30 to 28 to 32 to, 20 to 16 to 30, bro, no, get out of here. Go away. And, that's tomorrow's podcast because you kind of highlighted this guy, and it's like, well, he's bad too, and he's bad. Yeah, those guys are bad. And that's why I don't want those guys to be our special teams coordinators. And we need to stop interviewing. It's possible they're good coaches and they'll be good coordinators. It is possible. There is a scenario in which that is the case. He was just unfortunate with his situation or something or whatever. But man, we're really making it hard on ourselves if we're going to choose to only interview people who have never had success. I just think we're kind of giving ourselves a bit of a handicap here, and I don't know that it would kill us to find people that have been successful in their endeavors. But, whatever, we'll see. I'm sure there'll be more interviews to come, and I don't freaking know, man. What do I know? But I agree there will be fluctuation. I would just like to see some guys fluctuating at the top as opposed to fluctuating at the bottom.
Man, I tried to hurry. But the final question was, do we want a veteran or do we want somebody new and hopefully we strike gold? Does it matter? I don't think our chances of getting a great special teams coach would have increased if he was fired the day after, we lost to the Bears. I honestly don't. I think we're going to get, an up and down special teams coordinator because I think that's what exists. I haven't done a ton of research, but the great ones still have their jobs. I'm just saying, I don't think it really matters. And to be honest, I'm kind of hoping for the young guy because let's give somebody a chance. If there's a chance that we get a veteran and they suck some years and are good some years and we get a new guy, we're rolling the dice either way. So give somebody a chance and maybe we strike gold. But anyway, I don't know what would your opinion be? All right, peace.
Well, and that is kind of, I think, the best argument for the young guys is you don't know that they're bad. You know what I mean? It's like you said, if you, what would cause a good coach to not have a job? You know what I mean? There's very few scenarios where a good coach just isn't already working. The only thing really would be if they're undiscovered so far. And so that's why, it makes sense to go find those undiscovered guys and hire them. Now, they're going to be hard to find because most people that have never had the job probably never had the job for a reason. It's not super obvious or they would have been hired by now. So, there's no guarantees and you never know how it's going to go. And like everything else, to some degree, you just got to trust that they have a good process and they know what they're looking for and they're looking for the right things. I hope that to some degree success plays into that and it's not just, seems like a nice guy that everyone's going to get along with. That's great. But that should account for less than 10% of the equation in my estimation. But what do I know? We'll see how it goes, I guess. Let's take a break. We'll be back with Beer Cheese Benny.
Hey, Ryan. Beer Cheese Benny. Happy Friday.
Hello.
Hope you guys are having a good Friday. Hope you guys have a good weekend. Can I just say something? Let me say something, okay? And I'm only really going to say anything about this once because it is hilarious. The Bears! The Hammond, Indiana Bears! Freaking losers! Dude, your own freaking government and state doesn't even want you. This historic franchise that's been there for over 100 years. And they said, we don't care, go to Indiana, you guys are losers. We don't really care. That's unbelievable, man. I mean, and then the pathetic quote by Bears fans, we need to have a laughing at the enemy. They're just like, well, Hammond's actually closer to Chicago than Arlington Heights, the original plan of where the Bears Stadium is going to be. Like, I don't care.
Right.
It's still in Indiana, you dummy. You think I care that it's actually closer? Like, if anything that makes this worse, it's like, hey, like, yeah, we're going to put you in Indiana, but we're right on the border, but
You can see the skyline.
well, it's not Illinois. And then you know what, dude? I think I've said this at least 4 times. Bears fans always want to talk about, oh, you just guys have that piece of paper. It's just a piece of paper. It says you're an owner. There's no, you don't get any dividends or anything. You don't actually make money off of it. It's not real stock. Guess what, MFers? Now, I don't have one. But those stocks that us great Packers fans have, some of you do have the privilege of having it. I don't. Next time that there's an opportunity, I am going to become an owner. That's the reason why we're in Green Bay. Okay? So, stop making fun of it. And also, hey, maybe now when the Bears have stadium practices, people will actually show up because apparently there's so much to do in Chicago that like nobody's going to go to a scrimmage at the stadium because there's other stuff going on, which by the way is so dumb, and that makes your argument sound worse. That means nobody cares enough to not do those things and instead go watch the Bears. And now you're going to Hammond, Indiana, where there's literally less to do than in Green Bay. So, hey, man, now maybe Bears fans, hey, or I guess Indiana people who are Bears fans, we're going to flock to the stadium for those scrimmages. And I'm going to have a part 2.
Oh, man. I just saw the news about Rondale Moore. Ay, man. That makes me sick. Anywho, sorry about that. It just popped up at the wrong time. Well, let's get to your last call here.
And so, yeah, this is a continuation of my other call, Bears Tuesday. At least now, the Bears fans can just shut up, okay? Your own state doesn't give a crap about you, all right? And it's pathetic, and you guys are pathetic. And you know what? It's just a dumb run organization, honestly. Because how could you let this happen? And everyone wants to blame it on the politics of it. Everyone wants to blame, the governor and all this crap. It's like, no, you guys owe a bunch of money. Like, your organization is stupid. They're mentally incompetent. Like, I don't understand, man. Like Bears fans piss me off. They want to be like, they don't understand how the real world works. There's nothing to do in Wisconsin, yet every freaking 4th of July, Memorial Day weekend, they flock up there across the border to go freaking, go to wherever the hell. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Any place, because Wisconsin's better, clearly. And they just don't understand how the real world works. And honestly, if you're a Bears fan, I don't know how you could even continue being one. Like, if the Packers moved outside of Wisconsin, like, let's say, like, they go to the UP, and then, like, you'd have some Packers fans coping, like, whoa, it's right there, and technically the UP should be Wisconsin. It's like, well, no, it's still stupid, and it's Michigan, so screw you. I would be pissed, dude. I would damn near consider not being a fan anymore. I'm not even joking you. Like, dude, if they moved the Packers, I'm sorry, I just couldn't do it, man. But yeah, dude, this cope about the Bears is just hilarious, man. I'm sorry, but that's an incompetent organization. And, like, I don't blame them for going there, right? But, I don't know, dude. There's a big issue about it with the politics of it. But, again, if it was that important to the politicians of Illinois fighting for the people of Illinois, then this wouldn't be happening, in my opinion. And I know kind of money kind of changes a lot of that stuff. But, and people say the Bears try to work out a deal with the Illinois government for 5 years. Well, that's your own damn fault, Bears. You guys are stupid and you can't come up with a good agreement.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to that song that I made about him. Nobody loves you, nobody cares. It's just the reality. Nobody freaking loves you, and nobody cares. And it will be hilarious. This is what I was going to say before. But on their, family night thing or whatever, when they try to say, well, there's so much going on. What, in Hammond? Well, no, but like Chicago's right now. No, hold on. The argument isn't that there's so much to do like somewhere kind of close by, because that's true for Packer fans as well. In fact, Packer fans live near Chicago. So, no. I'm saying, why are you not showing up to Hammond to go to this event? Because you'd rather go to some event? Okay, cool. Because we could all go to Chicago, too, to that same event. We choose to go to the event for the Green Bay Packers. Not in the same city, nearby. So now we're in the same situation, and you don't get that excuse anymore. Not that it ever made sense, but now it's just a very clear picture.
Hey, Pack Daddy, it's Garrett from Southern Illinois.
Yo.
After listening to a couple podcasts here in the last few days, one thing that kind of stuck out with me was offensive line stuff, and we're still waiting for the inevitable. Either we're staying with Luke Butkus or he's gone, and the longer it goes, the more unfortunate I think we will all be facing a rude reality that they are keeping him. And I will be one of those, Ryan, that will say the offensive line was atrocious. I've been saying that all last season. I know the injuries was a part of it, but the shuffling, the experiment of moving Jenkins to center, signing Banks, which was ended up being terrible so far, has just not worked. They have really struggled. Ever since Bakhtiari got hurt, this offensive line has been a mess. For the most part, not performing very good. And there are some possible free agents out there that could help. But I just wonder, and I'm going to do one of these what-ifs, because I think it needs to be said. If Goody had just picked Creed Humphrey instead of
You gotta let it go, man. You gotta
what do you
let
think
it go.
that butterfly effect would have caused for this whole entire offensive line up to this point right now? Because if we had Creed Humphrey, Jenkins would have stayed at guard.
Yeah.
We would have had more of a focus on just our right guard and possibly just, in the draft, maybe they wouldn't have wasted some picks here and there, because they definitely have had some that have not been good. Royce Newman, terrible pick. I'm not a fan of Sean Ryan. It was a reach. He was not an established offensive lineman. He had played rugby and turned into an offensive lineman, and it just, to me, that pick has not done well for them. And I don't know. I'm throwing these sporadic things out there just to say that they have not done very well when it comes to offensive line. It has set this team back. It has prevented this team from honestly performing better in games. I think the offensive line has been, if not one of the root causes of the offense itself not doing well. It has set them back, and it's been a momentum, basically a momentum changer. It has stalled them. It has set them back, and it just.
Called back like 20 minutes later.
Okay, Ryan, I think Ben from Minnesota has got something here. So I'm going to pile on.
All right. I guess he wasn't continuing that. I mean, as far as the butterfly effect, I don't know. I mean, yeah, that's just the way it goes. I mean, I get it. You know, every that's the problem with every miss, you know, and that's the benefit of every hit. But you know, you just I don't know. Just onward and upward we go. As far as I mean, yeah, it's been bad and it has to get fixed. As far as the coach, I've given up on. I mean, they're not moving on from him. They would have done that by now. So they don't believe that he's the problem. So okay, I don't know. I don't know what they're seeing and what they're evaluating. I will just keep coming back to, it seems to me they are putting the vast majority of the problems on injuries, and that's it. And I don't know.
Beer Cheese Penny, you need to also call in and say the Bears will never leave Chicago. And Pritzker is going to get reelected. So please, Beer Cheese, just do all of us residents in Illinois a big favor that don't like the Bears and don't like Pritzker. Please call in and say that. I'm not going to be too selfish to say that I want to win the lottery, but you can add that in too. But definitely do that for us. We would all much appreciate it.
Well, Beer Cheese, you got your work cut out for you, and he's up next actually. So we'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Brian, I just want to freaking add on to this because you know what? I'm just reading some more things about Bears fans.
Okay.
And they're stupid, but you know, you have this is how competent Illinois is in general, and I guess we'll just tie in the Bears. Well, yeah, those tolls they have, I don't know. I've been living in South Carolina for 5 years, and I go up every year, and those tolls have been there my whole life. And I don't think any of those roads have ever gotten better. The infrastructure hasn't gotten better.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, the Illinois government is incompetent. We can agree on that. But the Bears are dumb because they wanted a new stadium. And really, they don't need a new stadium. Like, they just need to fix the one they have or whatever. Do whatever they want to it, upgrade it. I don't know. But they're asking taxpayers for money to build it, which is not a good idea. I know they do this for almost every stadium, but you know, you have billionaires who could fund this, and they can't even pay for it because they're so stupid. And now all this is a tax break for these owners because Indiana agreed on within 2 months or whatever after, you know, obviously Illinois took 5 years, like I said, try to do something and couldn't come up with anything. But I don't know. It's pretty stupid. Like, the Bears are asking for too much is what I'm saying, man. They're trying to ask for a bunch of money and infrastructure, like to change. When they were trying to do Arlington Heights, they want to change the roads and everything, and infrastructure,
well, yeah,
and have the new stadium.
Well, I mean, this is where I'll defend the Bears. First of all, they are like the only team that has said they're going to fund it. They're going to pay for the whole thing. They're selling off shares of the team just so that they can afford to actually fund it. Because, you know, everybody talks about billionaires like they've got like $1 billion in the bank. They absolutely don't. So, you know, as far as liquid cash to actually pay for things, I mean, you know, there's loans or whatever, but they don't have that money. So they had to sell off a bunch of stuff to try to get the money to be able to pay for the thing. And all they're asking from the government is, pretty basic stuff. Like, I mean, if the government doesn't build roads, how do you get it there? How do you get the plumbing and connect it to the city? You can't do that. The city has to do that. So I don't even know what the objection to that would be.
Like 850 million plus. And I mean, dude, I just have to laugh, dude. Such a stupid organization. Oh, your own city hates you. They just don't care to freaking do anything right to keep it there. Like, you would think that they'd be like, you know what, the Bears are a historic team, and they've been a part of this city for 100 freaking years, and we need to keep it that way. Instead, they're just like, no, the McCaskies are morons, and screw them. Like, we're not going to... And even the incompetent Illinois government is like, who likes to tax you for everything, is like, yeah, we don't really want to screw the people anymore over that. That's kind of a waste of money. Like, the Bears are fucking terrible, and we're not going to have people waste their money on new stadiums. So, anyways, go Pack, go. The Bears still suck.
Yep, it is pretty hilarious.
So I'm going to make an appeal to all of the listeners/callers. Is it just me, or is Ryan using the word jagoff a lot more lately? I think, Ryan, that you maybe need to rename your podcast to Jagoff Sports. It's hilarious because even one time when I was listening to your podcast, I walked up to a Ring doorbell and sat down package, and the person said thanks over the Ring doorbell. And for some odd reason, you were on a big rant that day, and you kind of basically you amplified your voice the same. You freaking jagoff, and the person thought that I said that to them. So thank you very much. That'll teach me to have the podcast on speaker when I walk up to a house.
Oh, that's good.
We love you, Ryan. That word is starting to become more synonymous with Packernet every day. So keep up the great work, man.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that was a thing, and that is an awesome story. So I'm sorry about all that.
Ryan, how the heck are you?
Good.
This is Nico from Idaho. I'm not driving. Actually at home making some homemade salsa.
Nice.
It's pretty good. But I just listened to your podcast about the Bears moving to Indiana and how, the fan base is going to be like, we're still Chicago. I tell you, at first when I heard about this last year, I was against it. I'm like, no, you can't move a storied franchise like that, to some freaking podunk other crappy little town. But after listening to you today, I am 100% for it. And here's the only reason. Is that all we have to do, because let's face it, we all spend a lot of time, some of us. I mean, I don't as much as I used to. But it's, it's kind of fun to poke a three-legged dog every once in a while. And how fun would it be just to call them the Hammond Bears and just enrage people online? Like, we're not the Hammond Bears. No, you're not the Chicago Bears. You're the Gary Bears or the Hammond Bears. You're the Indiana Bears. That is great. I mean, they love their name so much that the whole city didn't even want to keep them there. What a bunch of freaking losers. It doesn't even matter if they win a Super Bowl. Yeah, well, Chicago Bears, all this Chicago Bears never won a Super Bowl. Well, at least, not since 1986 or 85 or whatever dumb year that was. Because they're not the Chicago Bears no more. They're the Hammond Indiana Bears. Oh my gosh. So now I'm 100% on board. I hope they move. And I hope they keep the name Chicago because that just gives us ammunition to tease them. That's the flyover state right there, Indiana, let me tell you. So anyway, hey, go Pack, go. I'm going to go grill my veggies, and you have a great day, sir.
You almost had me with grill, and then you had to just freaking ruin it, didn't you? Yeah, no, that's it, and it makes it feel more pathetic, like, oh, we're the Chicago Bears. Like, really? Are you though? Like, why? Can you explain to me why you're lying about that? Because you're not actually from Chicago, right? So why are you lying about where you play football? I don't understand. Are you embarrassed about where you play football? Do you want to be something that you're not? Are you living a lie? Are you living some kind of a fantasy lifestyle? You freaking losers. Oh, it's so funny. And even like I said, even if they stay in Illinois, it doesn't matter. It's the same thing to me. It doesn't make any difference to me. It's not like, oh man, it sucks. I thought they were gonna. No, that's fine. Because you know what? You're not Chicago. The Bears fans don't take pride in being the Illinois Bears. They don't take pride in Illinois. Nobody in Illinois takes pride of Illinois. Nobody cares about Illinois. Illinois is the most barren, garbage state. There's nothing in Illinois. And they know that. So they just, their entire identity is wrapped up in Chicago. So good. Go move to Arlington Heights and then try to tell me how great Chicago is and how stupid Wisconsin is and see how that goes for you. And again, the reason I love it is because that's been their entire attack line since day one. It's been their whole thing. My entire life, that's been their attack line. And it's dead. It's over. Goodbye. Arlington Heights, Hammond, you freaking idiots.
All right. So, the population of Hammond, Indiana is 70-something thousand. The population of Green Bay is over 100,000. Dude, how funny would it be that the Bears are in some podunk smaller towns than Green Bay? I'm just laughing. I'm sorry. You might touch on this in a minute because I'm in a commercial, so I had to call. But yeah, tiny little podunk Chicago Hammond Bears. Oh, it just rolls off the tongue. It's just the Hammond Bears. It's so great. That's all. Hey, go back though. I'm out.
It just sucks that it's going to take a long time, but we get to tease them for a long time, and then when they finally move, then it'll be even better. But for now, it'll just be teasing.
Hey, Ryan, Beer Cheese Vinny here. Just wanted to call and say, congratulations to Patrick Saplicki, who got inducted into the Fan Hall of Fame. I feel like we should recognize this as Packer fans. Very cool. And don't know nothing about the guy. Don't know him, but he's from Stevens Point. So now it's all your job to get me into the Fan Hall of Fame. Thank you.
We'll get right on that, Beer Cheese. That'll be our top priority faux show.
Yo, Ryan, it's your Uncle Rico. Hey, broski. It is currently Friday night, about 7 o'clock in Wisconsin. Listening to some old stuff, catch up here while I'm doing some work, and y'all are talking about Bill not being a first ballot Hall of Famer, which is a sham and a scam and all the things that aren't cool. And Deflategate, yeah, that's funny. Well, what the freak difference does it make if there's one or less or more pounds of air in the football? Jeepers, creepers. Anyways, besides all that, that's water under the bridge. Bill, people, Tom Brady won it for Bill and whatever. Maybe, I'm definitely, Tom Brady. Does Belichick win all those games without Tom Brady? Probably not. It's hard to say. But guess what? I'm pretty sure Bill Belichick was in charge and the acting GM, wasn't he, when Tom Brady was drafted? So what is in the 6th round after nobody else drafted him? If Bill Belichick doesn't draft Tom Brady, then what happens? Maybe we never even hear of Tom Brady after he played at Michigan. He gets drafted in the 6th or 7th round or goes undrafted by the Cleveland Browns or something stupid. Tom Brady maybe never plays it down of regular season football in his life without Bill Belichick. Or am I losing my mind? I mean, that's kind of the way I look at it. Nobody picked him. Bill Belichick picks him because he maybe sees what he needs to see and puts that to work on the field. It's all Bill Belichick. I mean, Tom Brady obviously had to play, but Tom Brady is not Tom Brady without Bill Belichick, clearly. Despite being coached by him, he was drafted by him, I think anyways. All right, then. Rico out. Y'all have a good, whatever it is. It's the 20th. Y'all have a good 21st. Later.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any way you can, I mean, you can certainly give more credit to one person than the other, but to pretend that, one person is the whole package, I mean, it takes more, I hope we would have learned this by now, it takes more than one person to find success in the NFL. And to have that much success, it takes something, an organization that is quite special. And Bill Belichick built the organization, and he built the culture and everything else. Tom Brady, you can say, is the biggest individual piece if you want. But you're right. He drafted and developed Tom to be the guy, and it's just a perfect match. And so that's how you get what you get. Uncle Rico.
Yo, hi, it's your Uncle Rico.
Yep.
I am listening to more of the podcast and catching up on the podcast.
Okay.
And I am, if we're starting a Hall of Fame, and definitely Chris is the first ballot Hall of Famer on the Packernet After Dark, I guess, podcast Hall of Fame. And then Nico will be the official poet laureate of the Packernet podcast. And he should get, I don't know, kind of what a poet laureate gets. Does he get a gold jacket or some shit?
No.
Yes, that's what he should get.
All right.
All right, then. I recognize Nico as official poet laureate of Packernet podcast. Rico out.
I'll be honest, I think this is getting away from me a little bit. I wasn't anticipating having a poet laureate. I don't know what is a laureate? I don't know. Is that like emeritus?
Ryan, please come up. Hurry.
Okay. Well, that's, okay. Well, I got to be honest. I had no intention of adding poetry to this, and I don't know how that got involved. But maybe, we'll see. I'd hate to take away a prestigious title like poet laureate emeritus, but we'll see. All right, I'm being summoned, so I got to get going. Y'all have a good rest of your day. I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.